Chosen one, if you are feeling tired, lost, or overwhelmed, this message is for you. God sees everything you are going through, and He wants you to know you are not alone. Life may feel heavy right now, and you may wonder if anyone truly understands the weight you carry. But God does. Every tear you have cried, every sleepless night, every silent moment of pain, He has seen it all. You may look around and feel abandoned. You may think no one notices your suffering, that no one truly cares. But in the quiet moments when you are struggling, God is right there with you. He has never left your side, and He never will. Even when you feel like you are walking through the storm alone, He is holding you, guiding you, and preparing a breakthrough that is greater than anything you can imagine. God's love for you is endless. It is not based on how strong you are or how perfectly you handle your struggles. It is constant, unwavering, and unconditional. You don't have to prove yourself to Him. You don't have to carry your burdens alone. Right now, at this very moment, God is surrounding you with His presence. He wants you to rest in His love, to trust that He is in control, and to know that He is working all things together for your good. When life becomes overwhelming, it is easy to believe that your struggles define who you are. You may feel like your pain is too much, that your problems are too great, and that you will never escape this season of hardship. But hear this truth: your struggles are not your identity. They do not determine your worth. They are not the end of your story. God did not create you to be consumed by suffering. He did not bring you this far just to abandon you now. The difficulties you are facing are not a punishment or a sign that you have been forgotten. They are a part of your journey, but they are not the final chapter. Your pain is temporary, but God's promises are eternal. The enemy wants you to believe that you are alone in your suffering. He wants you to feel isolated, weak, and hopeless. But that is a lie. God has placed strength inside of you that you do not even realize yet. He has given you the power to rise above every challenge, to push through every trial, and to emerge stronger than ever before. Your struggles are not a sign of failure. They are proof that you are growing. Every hardship you face is shaping you, molding you, and preparing you for something greater. God is not allowing this season of difficulty to destroy you. He is using it to refine you, to teach you, and to strengthen your faith. You may not understand why you are going through this right now, but trust that God has a reason. He sees the full picture when all you can see is the struggle in front of you. He knows what is ahead, and He is preparing you for the blessings that are coming. There is not a single moment of your life that God has not been present for. He was there when you felt joy, and He is there now as you face your hardest days. You do not have to explain your pain to Him. He already knows. Every tear you have cried, every silent prayer you have whispered, and every ache in your heart has been seen and felt by Him. God is not distant from your pain. He is not a God who watches from far away without concern. He is close to the brokenhearted, and He holds those who are crushed in spirit. When you feel weak, He is your strength. When you feel lost, He is your guide. When you feel abandoned, He reminds you that you are deeply loved. There are moments in life when pain feels unbearable. The weight of sorrow, disappointment, and fear can feel like too much to carry. But God does not expect you to carry it alone. He is ready to take that burden from you, to lift you up when you are too weak to stand, and to bring peace into your heart where there was once only pain. No matter what you have been through, no matter how deep your wounds are, God is greater. He is the ultimate healer, and He is working to restore you. The pain that feels so overwhelming today will not last forever. The struggles that seem never-ending will soon turn into a testimony of God's faithfulness. Trust that God is standing beside you right now. He has never left you. and He never will. Even when you cannot see the way forward, He is guiding you. Even when you feel weak, He is strengthening you. Even when you think you are alone, He is reminding you that you are forever in His hands. Life is full of moments when everything feels heavy, when every step forward seems harder than the last. In those times, it is easy to question if God is truly with you. You may feel like He is silent, like your prayers are unanswered, or like you are walking through this battle alone. But that is not the truth. God has never left you. He is walking beside you, even in the darkest valleys. Think about the times when you have faced challenges before. You may not have realized it then, but God was carrying you through. He was protecting you from dangers you did not even see. He was opening doors that you didn't know were possible, and He is still doing that now. Just because you don't see Him doesn't mean He is not there. God does not promise that life will be without struggles, but He does promise that you will never have to go through them alone. He was with Moses when he faced the Red Sea. He was with Daniel in the lion's den. He was with Joseph when he was betrayed and thrown into prison. And He is with you in whatever battle you are facing today. There is no pain too deep, no mountain too high, and no storm too strong that can separate you from God's love. He is holding your hand, guiding your steps, and strengthening your heart. Trust that even in the times when life feels uncertain, He is leading you exactly where you need to be. You are never walking alone. It is hard to understand why we go through pain. When you are in the middle of a storm, it is natural to ask, "Why is this happening to me?" But God never allows pain without a purpose. Every struggle, every disappointment, and every challenge you face is part of something greater. It is shaping you, preparing you, and making you stronger. When a seed is planted in the ground, it is covered in darkness before it begins to grow. It stays hidden beneath the soil, unseen and unnoticed. But that is when the real transformation happens. In time, it breaks through the surface and becomes something beautiful. Your struggles are like that. You may feel buried under pressure, but God is using this season to grow something powerful in you. Pain teaches us lessons that comfort never can. It builds resilience, deepens faith, and reveals the strength that was already inside of you. God is using your trials to mold you into the person He created you to be. If you never faced struggles, you would never discover how strong you truly are. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening?" begin asking, "God, what are you teaching me?" Because there is always a purpose. Every tear you have cried is watering the blessings that are coming. Every difficult moment is making you wiser and more prepared for the future. God is not allowing this pain to destroy you. He is using it to shape you into someone even stronger, even braver, and even more prepared for the greatness He has planned for your life. When you are going through difficulties, it can feel like God is silent. You may be praying for answers, waiting for change, hoping for relief, but nothing seems to be happening. This can make you feel frustrated, discouraged, and even forgotten. But the truth is, God's timing is never wrong. He is always working, even when you don't see it. Waiting is one of the hardest things to do. It tests your patience, your faith, and your trust in God's plan. But what if the delay is not a denial? What if God is preparing something greater than you ever imagined? Sometimes we think we are ready for our breakthrough, but God sees what we cannot. He knows the perfect time to bless us, to open doors, and to bring the answers we are waiting for. Think of a child who wants to run before they have learned to walk. A loving parent won't rush the process because they know it's important for the child to grow strong first. In the same way, God knows when the time is right for everything in your life. If He is making you wait, it is because He is preparing something better. God is not slow, and He has not forgotten you. Every prayer you have prayed has been heard. Every desire in your heart has been seen. He knows what you need, and He knows when you need it. Instead of focusing on the waiting, focus on trusting. His timing is perfect, and when He moves, everything will fall into place exactly as it should. There are moments in life when you feel too weak to keep going. The weight of your struggles feels unbearable, and you wonder how much more you can take. You may feel drained, exhausted, and empty. But in these moments of weakness, God is your strength. He does not expect you to face life's challenges on your own. He is always ready to lift you up when you feel like you can't take another step. God's strength is different from human strength. People grow tired, but God never does. His power is unlimited, and He offers it freely to those who turn to Him. When you feel weak, He gives you the strength to keep moving forward. When you feel lost, He lights the path ahead of you. When you feel like giving up, He reminds you that there is still hope. God's comfort is like a warm embrace on a cold day. It surrounds you, calms your fears, and reminds you that you are not alone. Even when everything around you feels uncertain, His peace remains steady. He doesn't just give you strength to survive, He gives you strength to thrive. No matter how broken you feel, no matter how weak you think you are, God's power is greater than any challenge you face. Lean into Him, trust in His strength, and know that He will never let you fall. Prayer is one of the most powerful gifts that God has given us. It is more than just words. It is a direct connection to Him. When you pray, you are not just speaking into the air. You are speaking to the one who created the universe, the one who knows you better than anyone, the one who loves you unconditionally. There is no problem too big or too small to bring to God in prayer. He wants to hear from you. He wants you to pour out your heart to Him, to tell Him your fears, your worries, and your dreams. He listens to every prayer, even the ones you think are too small to matter. Prayer is not about having the perfect words or saying the right things. It is about being honest with God. It is about trusting that He hears you, even when you don't feel it. It is about believing that He is working, even when you don't see immediate answers. When you pray, you invite God into your struggles. You allow Him to take control, to guide you, and to fill you with His peace. Prayer is not just about asking for things. It is about building a relationship with God. The more you talk to Him, the more you will feel His presence in your life. Never underestimate the power of prayer. It is the key that unlocks doors, the bridge that connects you to God's strength, and the light that shines in the darkest times. Loneliness is one of the hardest emotions to carry. It can make you feel invisible, forgotten, and unimportant. But no matter how alone you feel, you are never truly alone. God is always with you. He is closer than your own breath, and He will never leave you. You may not always feel His presence, but that does not mean He is not there. Feelings can change, but God's promises do not. He has said, "I will never leave you, nor forsake you." And His word is unbreakable. He is with you when you wake up in the morning, when you face challenges throughout the day, and when you lay your head down at night. Even when people let you down, God remains faithful. Even when friends walk away, God stays. Even when the world feels cold and distant, His love surrounds you. You do not have to fight your battles alone, because the Lord is by your side. Let this truth bring peace to your heart. You are loved. You are seen, and you are never, ever alone. You may not understand everything that is happening in your life right now, but you don't have to. You don't have to have all the answers, and you don't have to figure everything out on your own. What you do need is faith. Faith that God is in control, that He has a plan, and that everything you are going through is leading to something greater. God sees every tear, hears every prayer, and knows every burden you carry. He is not ignoring you. He is not distant. He is right here, walking beside you through every storm, every hardship, and every challenge. No struggle lasts forever. The pain you are feeling today will not be with you forever. The season of difficulty you are facing now is not the end of your story. God is leading you toward healing, restoration, and a future filled with His goodness. Take a deep breath and release your worries into God's hands. Trust in His timing. Trust in His strength. Trust in His love. He has never failed you before, and He will not start now. You are chosen. You are loved. You are never alone. God is with you today, tomorrow, and forever.